Hi y'all, this is Felipe Learn to Grow Guy. Today is the final week of December in 2024. Wednesday, today's Monday. Wednesday will be 2025, the first of 2025. So what I'm in the process of doing right now is I'm actually in the process of taking a few branches, taking a few cuttings. Well, I guess you can call it pre-pruning because I'm only taking a few branches so that I can do what I need to do. Let me show you what I've cut. This branch here is one of the branches I just cut. Well, okay. And that one came from, I believe this is an Ayers pear. And this is where I cut it from, okay? I just cut it a few minutes ago, all right? And the goal is for me to actually propagate as many trees as I can. Over the past several winters, what I've done is that when I've gone out to prune the trees, what I would do is that I would take the branches, cut them up into appropriate sizes, and comes the spring or approaching the spring, I would go ahead and stick them into the ground so they can grow. What I would get is I would get some of the branches, some of the cuttings. Let me rephrase that. Some of the cuttings that would grow as far as producing some leaves, even flowering. However, they never bore any fruit, they never bore any roots, and they never really caught on and grew and became trees. Okay, so this year I'm trying something a little bit different. What I'm doing, well, this is the experiment I'm going to be conducting. Okay, I'm going to take the cuttings, I'm going to cut them to the appropriate lengths. Okay, I'm going to scrape the bottoms where the roots would normally start to grow, and I'm going to scrape opposite sides of the bottom of the cutting. I'm going to put some rooting hormone on there, and I'm going to split them into two batches. One batch, well, both batches are going to be wrapped with damp paper towel, all right? And one batch is going to go into the refrigerator. The other batch will be going into closet where they're not going to get any direct sunlight, but I just want to see if they're going to start rooting and doing what they're supposed to be doing under that circumstance. So the ones in the fridge will be continuing the chill hours. The other ones will not. But the goal is I want to see what's going to root and what's going to happen. And the ones in the fridge probably comes February-ish. I'll probably pull them out at about that time. And once I do pull them out, the goal is for me to let them sit. Again, I'm going to let them sit in darkness and see if they root or not. If they root, great. If not, if they go through the normal process that they've normally done, this is just a reminder. Just remembered that last year I also put some sand and try to keep it moist. And again, all I've got was the same thing, which is that they leafed out, they budded, a few flowered, and none of them made it. Okay, so this year, the definition of insanity is that you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, I'm not insane. So anyway, that's the goal, that's the plan. One of the things I want you to notice as well is that this one here does not have any of the fruiting spurs. Okay, this is a long, tall one. All right, it has no rooting spur. It has no fruiting spurs compared to fruiting spurs, fruiting spurs, fruiting spurs. This has fruiting spurs throughout the rest of the tree. As you can see, fruiting spurs. All right, see, fruiting spurs, fruiting spurs. Okay, the branches have fruiting spurs. All right, and again, this is the one where I cut it from. Okay, and this particular tree is an Orient pear. Okay, see, Paris de Orientis. So that's what I've got. I've got my branch. I'm taking it back so I can cut it up and get started with the experiment. Okay, these are two that I've done already. These came from my apple tree that sits right behind me. But these are two that I've done already, okay? Now, these two small cuttings are from the apple tree also. And I'm going to be doing the same thing. And of course, this is a super big one that I just harvested with you guys a little while ago. This thing is, that's about 8 feet or so long. So that one I'll probably, well, you know what? Since that was the one that I harvested with you guys, I think it's best to finish it off with you guys. I'll do as much of it as I can with you guys, that is. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm cutting just ahead of this bud here. Okay, and I'm trimming this off. I'm trimming this off. Okay, now each of these that I'm trimming off, I'll probably run through the same process as well, except for maybe this one. Yeah. Okay. So what I typically like to do is this. All right. I like to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 nodes is what I typically like to have on each of the cuttings. But since these 3 here, 1, 2, 3 are so close together, I'll save this portion here as if that's the root section. And these 2 or 3 buds here is what I will leave. You see 1, 2, 3 is what I will leave for the new branches to come up. All right, so I'm going to cut it just above the bud. And this one here has 2 here that I'm going to put underground, and it's got the rest of these that can actually grow. Okay, typically what I'll do is this. When I cut them, I'll cut them at an angle very close to the lowest bud. All right, I don't know if you can see that or not. That's the lowest bud. So I'll cut at an angle. That way, if I do put them into the ground, there'll be a sharp end to go into the ground, okay? And when I do that, typically the tops, I'll leave them flat like this here so that I know where's the top and where's the bottom. Now, keep in mind that the buds on here actually are pointing upwards to the top, but that's what I typically like to do, just in case I ever have some brain farts, and that way I know exactly what I've got, okay? And the other thing is that I need to make sure that these are not too long for the bags. So like this one here is going to get cut about here, and again just above the node, not the node, but above the just below the bud. And it's the same thing I'm trying to do here, but yeah, it's the same thing I'm trying to do with this one here. Cut that at an angle, and again 2, since there's 3 here, and that'll be fine to go underground to get things started. But then I'm looking at about another 4, 1, 2, 3 above ground. So I'll cut just above this here bud, and then this piece here, I'm going to cut just below the node. Put that one at an angle so that I know exactly what I've got. Okay. And I'm not in the house. I'm sorry, I'm not in the cabin, and so. And all I have is nature all around me, so I'm going to dispose of these. That's simple, okay? And same with this one here. Since this one is a short one, I'm just going to cut it just below the node or the bud, and that's pretty much it. Now for these here, this is a much thicker piece of wood that I've got here, okay? That's what this is. And since it's much thicker, I'm still looking for an area that, for example, this one's going to go underground, all right? And so I've got one, since, you know, this is a big one. Yeah, I think I will stick with the 2 pieces underground, and these here can do what they got to do. I'm hoping that new branches will grow out of here, since I'm seeing remnants of what may be a bud there, and I think I got one similar here and another one there. So that's what I'm hoping for. Whether it actually happens or not, we'll wait and see. So again, 2 underground, and I think these 3 here. So I'll cut straight across here, just above, and just below this here, I'm going to cut this at an angle. I'm following the same procedure. That way, again, like I said before, I will always know that the flat top is the top of it, and the angled portion, that's the bottom. Okay, so with this one here, I've got 1, 2. Okay, so I'll just cut this one in half. Yeah, why not? And again, at an angle, just under the bud, okay? So the next part, well, this is the apple one. I don't want to get them mixed up. So I'll put this one off to the side. All right. You're supposed to work at a clean workstation, okay? That's how that's supposed to be. All right. We've got these cut already. So you can use whatever rooting hormone you want, okay? This just happened to be the one that I've got. And this one last year seems to have gotten some moisture in it. It's no longer a powder. It's now a paste. Well, I'll show you. And the other thing that I have a need for is a knife. And with this knife, as I mentioned to you, well, I'm going to trim this one down a little bit more to get it closer, because I need to make sure that they're all able to fit into the bag. So it's closer to the node. So what I'm doing is I'm scraping till I get to the green. As you can see, the green, and like I said, I'm going to the other side, and along this here and on the bottom there is where I'm going to be putting the rooting hormone. The desire is to get roots to grow on these, get the roots going, and if we're successful, that'll be just great. If we're not, then I guess for me it would mean back to the drawing board. Got to find a new process that works. And like I said, I've tried this stuff for many years and I have failed. I had an Asian pear tree back in Chicago that I was trying to get going down here and didn't succeed with that one either. And with that one, I even had it in the fridge for several months, and again, still got nothing from it. They all died. So, and I know that I'm not perfect. Again, I'm trying to learn so I can grow. The more I learn, the more I understand, and the better I'll do for you. The better I will do in the future. And I'm pretty much hoping that you're the same way. All right. Okay, I just finished the rest of them. And I'm just trying to clean up my workstation here for a little bit. And I'll just shove them to the side. Okay. Typically what you'd want to do is you probably want to soak them in some water. But yeah, maybe I should do that. Okay, so I brought this water in. And typically probably want to soak them for 10-15 minutes or so. All right. And the reason for that is, I guess you could say, to get them some water. Maybe the branches could absorb some water. I mean, this one looks a little dry. It probably would survive, but just to be on the safe side, you can let it soak for 10 minutes or so. All right. But let me show you the process anyway. And like I said, this used to be powder once upon a time. It is no longer powder. Somehow water got on the inside and it's like a paste now. And basically what I would normally do, what I'm going to be doing, is I would take these, whoops, hold on. And this is a damp paper towel. Well, 2 pieces of damp paper towels. Okay, that's what I'm going to wrap, not them individually, but collected. Well, they'll be wrapped somewhat individually, but then I'll add them all up. I'll bring them all together so that they're all using one paper towel. Okay, so that's 4, and that's 8. I've got 9 of these here. Okay, and so here's what I'm doing. This was that apple. Nope. Yep. No, this came from the pear tree. Okay, y'all didn't hear that. Okay. I think this was an Orient pear. And I'll write them on both ends so it's easier to read. All right, and I'll set this aside. and I'll do the one for the other one. Remember I'm making two, I'm separating them. All right, so one's gonna go into the closet, the other's gonna go into the fridge, okay? Basically, here's the process. You get your rooting hormone and you're gonna rub it on the green side, okay? Where I have, where I've scratched off the bark at, all right? And you're gonna lay them there, all right? You're gonna do the next one. You're gonna do the same thing, put some on the bottom, all right? Some on the sides. And again, this is supposed to be a powder, and it's not a powder at this point. But that's my misdoing. That's my bad. And I know it's not been 10 minutes. I know. But that's the process. I think y'all probably have it by now. Okay, wherever I have the green at is where I want the roots to come out. Okay, I'm going to pause and continue. Okay, by the magic of television, it is done. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Remember what I said, we're doing two batches. One's going to go in the closet, and the other one's going to go in the fridge. All right. And since I think there's 9, we'll get them separated 4 and 5. The first one goes in, and the key thing is that you got to make sure you leave enough down here so that when you do fold everything over, you're going to roll it like this. Okay, give it a couple of rolls, and then you're going to incorporate the second one. Okay, and then you roll that and give it a couple of rolls, scoot everything down, and you get the third one in. Okay, and then the fourth, and then the last. And when you have them all, you fold that over. Okay, this just, look at that, you see that? It still drips. So, which means that I still have plenty of water in it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them, oops, I forgot. I'm going to tie it together. Because I'm going to have more than one variety in each bag. Okay, I'm going to have more than one different plant in each, more than one different type of cutting in each bag. For example, the one that's in here already, it's this is my Asian pear. This is from my Asian pear. It's the Shinko variety, and this is the other one. Remember, you cut them into 2. I need to put a pink tag on that one, but nonetheless, this is a Shinko variety of Asian pears. All right, and this one is the Orient pear. Okay, and now to wrap this one. And again, it's the same thing. Oh, by the way, on the bottoms, I did put some of the rooting hormone on the bottom of these as well, okay? As well as, since this was a thick branch, I also put them on the spots where I cut off the branches that was on this here. Okay, and again, you roll it a couple of times, and then you introduce the other one, the next one. Roll that again. And then the third. Thurston Howell the third. And then the last one. All right. And again, you fold that over in the hopes that the bottoms are making contact so they have moisture. And then you put up, you do the little labeling. And this one, of course, says Orient pear. All right. So that's basically the whole process here. One of these will go in my closet. Okay. And I'll probably add a little bit more water here just to make sure that everything is damp. And I'll do the same thing with the one that's going to go in the fridge. But here's the thing. The one that's going to go in the closet, you're going to want to check it more frequently to make sure that you don't have mold growing on it, okay? Mold will, well, I guess destroy your experiment. But again, you want to check that more frequently, maybe once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even once a month. But the key thing is to check up on them to make sure that they're coming along okay. The one in the fridge, I'm not so concerned about it because of the temperature in the fridge. The fridge is a little bit cooler, and since it's a little bit cooler, I don't think the mold's going to grow in there as easily as it will the one in the closet in the dark. All right. So I guess what we're going to be doing is sometime in the spring, we're going to be checking up on these. Well, I'm going to do some checkups. I'll do some 1 minute shorts. I'll do some shorts about the progress of the ones in the closet to see if they're rooting. The goal is for the ones in the closet to start rooting. And once they start rooting, at some point where they have enough roots in them, I'll probably transfer them onto some small pots. Even if it starts in mid-February, January, I guess I'm just going to have some babies to take care of, y'all. Okay, so that's basically it. Again, look out for the shorts, okay? The shorts will be coming out as to where I'll be showing you what's happening to the ones in the closet. And I may even on 1 or 2 of them include what's going on with the ones in the fridge, okay? Keep in mind, right now I do have some figs in the fridge that I put, I think, back in October or maybe November. They did experience a freeze, okay? They experienced a freeze, one of the freezes that we had, and this was before I took the cuttings. And so if those cuttings failed comes next year, we'll know why. It's because the freeze that they experienced sort of took them out of the equation. So that's all I've got for you right now. Stay tuned for the shorts, and the spring is probably when we're going to plant the ones that's in the fridge so that they can start doing their thing. And I'm hoping that by putting the rooting hormone on these so early that they will start to root earlier, and hopefully I have a 100% successful rate compared to a 100% failure rate. Okay, y'all take care. Keep an eye out. All right, y'all. Oh, before I forget, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Okay. If you don't like this video, then I understand. But we could use the help in trying to get the videos out to the algorithm. And if you did find some good value in this, share it with some of your people. I don't want you to lose credibility. If it's something you don't like, if it's a video you don't care for, then don't share it. I get that. Okay. Because I wouldn't do it either. Okay. And if you get a chance, please subscribe. If you subscribe, please take a look at all the videos that we've got, and the ones that you find that you like, please share. All right, please share. And that's basically it, y'all. Take care. Enjoy your new year, and let me be the first to say Happy New Year to you guys. Take care.